Alrighty, let me start by explaining. Whenever I get on my high horse, I'm perfectly aware of how sanctimonious I can be, and because of that, I thought, bugger it, why not just own it and call them sermons? Also, these sermons usually take written form. I can imagine how unappealing that may be to read, so I thought I'd try out a slightly more digestible format. Anyway, previously, I've talked about going back to basics and remembering why you cosplay. That sort of self-reflection helps to remind us why we enjoy this hobby so much in the first place and can provide a bit of a boost whenever motivation is lagging. So that's what I'm going to do with my first video, talk about why I cosplay. While I do have a variety of motivations, there are two main driving forces. Cosplay allows me to express my fandom. Dressing up as my favourite characters allows me to share and show off just what it is I'm a fan of. Kind of like music fans wearing band t-shirts or sports fans wearing their team colours. Oh, come on, let's be honest. Sports fans are just another type of nerd when you really think about it, only they're in denial. My other big motivation? I like to make things. In fact, I love to make things. I really enjoy the creativity of designing and building. I've spent the better part of a decade working as a graphic designer, a career all about being visually creative. Cosplay is just another version of that, but instead of making things for clients, I get to make and build for myself and build what I love. Combine the two motivations and you get a highly combustible fuel that powers my engine. It's what drives me in this hobby, and I thoroughly enjoy it. The drive to create has always been there for me. As a little kid, I was making stuff out of necessity for play, exercising imagination like kids are supposed to do. Wooden swords, cardboard armor. I even made a phaser once. Yeah, I was a spoiled kid, but there were many times we just couldn't afford stuff either. When I was 9, I distinctly remember building a computer out of cardboard boxes from my parents' restaurant because I wanted a computer. In my 20s, height of its popularity, I was making full-size poker tables and hosting Texas Hold'em nights with friends. Mind you, that was before I ran out of room to store all the tables. Making stuff because I wanted something hasn't really gone away, it's just evolved. Sure, it's still a case of, I want an Iron Man armor, so I'll make some Iron Man armor, or I want to be Master Chief, so I'll make Master Chief's armor. But as well as that, I'm proud of what I make because I made it. Imagine cooking a nice meal for someone you care about. It's that sort of love and satisfaction because you made it. It also means something to them because you made it. For me personally, the making of props and costumes also adds to the experience. From research to design to build, that DIY process allows me to form a deeper connection to the characters and the world they inhabit, as well as provide a whole slew of other enjoyable aspects. As I research, I'm seeing details I would never have bothered to notice before. I'm learning more about what goes into the design, why it's there, as well as further appreciating the process. As I design, I'm using my problem-solving skills to figure out the best way and even most affordable way to bring these creations to life. As I build, I'm learning new skills, how these materials work, and learning how to adapt stuff for what I need. I also have an appreciation for the different processes I use. I find assembling Pepakura to be highly meditative. Using mundane materials to create the most elaborate of parts is a dream for my bank account. There's satisfaction at sourcing just the right component or accessory. And using LEDs? Well, LEDs are just bloody cool. At this point, I should clarify that I use the word make as a shorthand for all substantial effort to create. Whether it be making from scratch or altering pre-existing items, it's all about that effort. Mind you, back on that cookie analogy, it's kind of funny to observe, Jamie Oliver has built an empire encouraging people to cook more. I encourage more making, and apparently I'm a snob. There are plenty of other reasons I enjoy cosplay, but they don't normally drive or define the hobby for me. I fully admit that I enjoy the positive attention that accompanies cosplay, that feeling of celebrity sometimes, but as a motivation, it's far too cynical and nowhere near defines cosplay for me. It's like how I enjoy drinking alcohol, but I don't drink to get drunk. What I really appreciate are the friendships I formed along the way, how putting myself out there has helped develop my self-esteem, and when I needed it to be, cosplay became a source of therapy during a traumatic time. Also, seeing how little fans react to a towering Optimus Prime, that still warms my heart. Oh, and how can I forget, cosplay allowed me to meet one of my childhood heroes and even do a photo shoot with him. I mean, how cool is that? Whether you make or buy, cosplay is ultimately a self-indulgent hobby, and there is no shame in acknowledging that. It's also good to remember that for people to invest so much time, effort, and money into such a hobby, it has to mean something. What that is different for everyone. For me, it's the fun of making and letting my geek flag fly. This video is something I just wanted to try out. If it works, then I hope to make more. Maybe once a month or something like that if I can fit it in. But as always, we'll see. Oh, and I guess this is the part where I finish off by saying, here endeth the sermon.